Alright, so we're gonna go over a few changes I've done with the base. Hasn't been too much. Removed the save that was over here. And I'm gonna have the game lag just a bit there for a moment, as apparently the file initiation process caused that to happen. Alright, yeah, remove the extra save, just because this was more than enough. In fact, that's actually finished, so I could just turn that off. But I'll let it run for a bit. Ran into some power issues, so I had to create another reactor. And also tried dealing with the bee system on making it a bit more friendly for storing them. And I did that over at the bee area. We'll get to that here in a moment. But part of that process was this hallway here. This hallway is taking excess bees, putting them into here, which, as you can see, this chest is full because probably this ran out of okay. The DNA has nowhere to go right now. That said, that means our liquid storage system for DNA is now full. I have not much I can do about that, honestly. Yeah, all of this is full. Alright, fair enough. But yeah, I was starting to turn excess bees of various species into DNA. There was a particular reason for that. One of those is for the quest book, we'll get to in a second. I also did the other side of this on the line, where you can see where those are on the rest of the way. Those have yet to have actually been assigned to anything. At least for now. But, both sides of the hallway here of the gene sample smelting system is up and running at least. And here's the new reactor. It is... well, it's much larger in person, quote unquote, than it is based on the image I sent on Discord. And the backside and the front side has, I think it was 28 of the energy cells and half of that, so 17 in Tesseracts, to input and output power from this thing, because this entire thing is one giant reactor. I even added some extra power tops on this side, just in the case I needed to extend that. And this is my redstone port system on this reactor, which is going to regulate the power usage, because unlike the smaller reactors, this one uses a decent bit more yellorium per tick than it did for the smaller ones. How much more? I want to say roughly 30 times more. Roughly, I think the ones up there use like 0.164 millibuckets per tick, whereas this one peaks at, well, you kind of saw roughly 3.2. So I don't feel like doing the math. It's roughly 30 times more. But that said, this reactor also outputs about 192,000 kilo RF per tick when it's at max capacity, which we might see here, might get near it. I have it shut off, so no, we didn't actually get to see it, but I have it shut off around 85% full because I don't want to waste too much extra power. Ideally, I'd probably be turning this off around like 60, but too many redstone updates, and I'd rather not. Oh hey, music. Really, really quiet right now, though. The Minecraft music decided to loop in. Yeah. So what did this peak at that we saw? 176 or so. We can certainly take a look at the top of that to kind of see how the control rods are laid out. That entire thing is indeed filled with gelid cryothium, though. Oh. So this method of liquid DNA and the other method for bee storage, by the way, kind of doesn't work too well. So above here, above the small area along that wall, is just a bunch of more storage, because, you know, never enough storage. Hopefully that should take me to the end of the pack for storage purposes, and if needed, if we end up getting too many bees and we don't need the products anymore, we can kind of disconnect that entire area from the AE system, so it just backs up on its own and calls itself good. That said, I forgot how loud the song can actually get. That said, let's head on over to the B system so I can take a look at, well, some pretty lightning. No, B mutations. Take a look at the top of this place. Well, before we actually get down below there and show what the hell I did there, obviously I showed this before with the cascading diamond chest to a single point. Below this used to be the import system for that, now that's running along the edge. Below this, though, is some pipework that leads into this large rectangular block. That, when we head down here, has a bazillion genetic imprinters. And I mean a bazillion. I think there's like 96 of them here or something. Fucking music. Getting too loud. There's like 96 genetic imprinters or so. What was the purpose of this? Well, it takes the genetic template that we had been using, the 11 to 13, the fast, shortest, fertility 4, blah blah blah. Applies it to the drone, or princess, or whatever happens to go through. And then that finally gets sent to the system. Why? That causes the metadata of the bees to all be the same, so they would stack in the system and take up less space overall. Problem with that, genetic lab tools take diamonds and glass panes. That takes time to craft. Not to mention it also takes time to, well, push it out here. And as you can see, this is no longer pushing out. Why? I don't know. So that's a good question for me to find out in a second, because this should be pushing out a stack at a time. I already have a different system for creating, I think, up to like 3 stacks in the system at any given time. So that probably means we ran out of either glass pane, glass, sand, or diamonds. Which of the materials, I don't entirely know. I'm going to guess diamonds, though. But yeah, that said, that was the whole purpose behind this, but it just took too long, took too much power. It was like 1,000 RF per tick. And it burned through power a lot. So I left that system there. It's still running, technically. But it's mostly importing the bees and stuff into the system first. So, let's go find out if we ran out of diamond, shall we? Diamond. I did not run out of diamonds, which means I also did not run out of glass panes. Okay, the other issue I had then would be the cyclic assembler. Which is actually responsible for the whole process of exporting the diamonds, exporting the glass panes into the cyclic assembler, that is crafting up the genetic slabware. And unfortunately, I don't have a method to limit how many things go into it. So, yeah. So that's why that system is not running right now, was because that got backed up with a bunch of diamonds in its inventory. Now, there is no don't consume stack option, otherwise I totally would use it. Totally would. Anyway, that's what that's doing, and down here I essentially just have, hey, okay, it was 2 stacks. If there's the, 2 stacks or more, just shut off the machine, don't let it run anymore, don't try to import any more of it into the system. But yeah, that's how that was working. Other than that, did I do anything else? Oh, yes I did. So I mentioned for one of the quests that we had to kill a fallen angel and a something or other. And I had no idea how to get those enemies spawned or anything. Now, if the world wants to load for me, there we go. If the world wants to load everything for me, please. I found out what we had to do. This is from Blood Magic, Arcane Plinth. Had to craft one of those, which came from a pedestal and some other stuff. The pedestals came from the weak blood shards and some other stuff. This is the summoning area for the demons and Blood Magic, which I have never done. But yeah, that's what this is for. We'll get to this in due time. It's really interesting seeing the lightning strikes off of the distance, by the way. Especially when it's not raining. Other than that, I haven't really done too much. I put lights over at our division sigil altar just to stop mobs from spawning there, so they can continue to spawn in there just fine. And I think that really pretty much covers it, outside of the fact I decided not to spend this stream going through the process of making other bees, since it's the same shit over and over again. So I made a bit of a chart of where all the bees are located. So like down here we have the monastic, starting from this side over. Am I capturing the... Okay. We got monastic, majestic, tropical, diligent, unweary, blah 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 blah. Coming on this side we got imperial, meadows, common, marshy, etc. So those are all the ones that we've kind of already seen and dealt with before. This one we got the attuned, unusual, outrage, modest, blah blah blah. Did I say modest twice? No, I said monastic. Then you know you got your secluded, excited, you got your lightning strike in front of my face, valiant, and ender. There are new ones down there, as well as over here. So you got rocky, tolerant, etc., etc. So like I made a layout and a map of where all the bees are, which ones are free. That way I don't accidentally make the same bee again. That said, we have smoldering, we have skulking, we have carbon, which is going to be for another thing. Hateful, destabilized again for another thing. Impregnable, which is a titanium producer. Spatial, quantum, spirit, soul, energetic, aware, abnormal, all of those that we were missing, they have been put over on this side. They exist now in our world for us to be able to actually do this quest, where we needed 64 Assertus Comb and 64 Energetic Combs. We actually should be able to do this now, to finish it off and get to that one and that quest there. That quest there, I already looked to see what the hell it was about, and that's part of the reason why the carbon one exists in the system, along with the skulking. But hopefully that is true to what I read about the quest. I got tired of dealing with bees breeding on stream, and it was just ugh. Anyway, all the bees slots are filled. If there's a red spot missing anywhere, then oops, I fucked up and didn't put one down somewhere, but it wasn't intentional. Or, in fact, as I can see now, the red strip for the very end ones is actually over one block than it should be. Whatever. It happened. I'm not too worried about it. I don't really need to go down there anymore unless we, for some reason, don't have one material or another. In fact, I even started trashing bees directly from chest to trash can. I stopped even bothering with the gene samples at this point. In fact, why are you drammed? Holy shit, you actually got through all of that stack of... Wow. Okay. Really got through that stack of fucking bees. That's a lot of bees it just went through. Especially considering a lot of them were all stacks of bees. But yeah, I got tired of doing that. I did put in some of the villagers, and that one's not done, actually. I did do some decoration over here as well. Why are you on the ground? I don't recall putting you on the ground. I accidentally put on the ground. But yeah, I got some decorations in here. Kind of appropriate for what they're doing. You know, enchanting table because of the librarian villager, blah blah blah. And apparently some frame issues as well. Who knew? I even kind of labeled them, but a lot of the villagers are here if we need to trade with them ever. Oh, and put a little bit of a trim, quote unquote, around the door. They think that's a full block, so they don't want to walk through it, so they'll come over and open up the door, but they won't actually be able to walk through, so it's a good way to prevent them from leaving, while still allowing access to them in a room environment that isn't a 1x1 or something small and contained and undecorative. So, yeah. Villagers are kind of happy. I think there's some rooms I'm missing for decorations, as well as, I think the third floor I never got to, but so be it. One other change I did, I guess, is this. We have a bunch of combs in the system. Like, a lot. I think the dripping one was up to 132,000 or so. So I figured, you know, why not spin them, you actually get the products out of them, and, you know, do stuff with it, or whatever, if we need to. The mossy comb, I guess, doesn't really serve too much of a purpose with honey drops and beeswax, but... may as well, I guess. May as well. So yeah, all of that's done. With that said, let's back out of that. we have 3 quests under this to complete. One is Junk Dealer. This is the one that was taking the flint and whatnot, and we were like short like 15,000 flint. And the rest was in there, so we completed that between last week and this week. So we can go ahead and accept that. Once I did that, that unlocked Queen of Hearts, which I saw what it required, and as you can see, it required 100 full hearts. I didn't have that many. I had to farm other quests. What are the quests that I have to farm? Well, if I would go with the flow, liquid bees, liquid DNA, that gets me 2. That repeats every 3 days. Sorry, it repeats every 7 days. That was 3 days. Whatever. So I did that one along with is it that one? No. Oh, Mob Essence. That's right. So I was getting 4 hearts from those, just to be able to turn it in for the quest of 100 hearts, because that's a lot of hearts. I didn't want to spend the time having to wait for the quest to reset for me to grab more hearts, since there was no other way for me to get them. So we're grabbing that. Got another Iridium ore and a reward bag. And finally, the Congealed Blue Slime. Well, you saw me craft some. I just crafted the rest. Spawn King Slime. You know what? I will take it. Why not? And I will also use those 2 hearts to add to my remaining 133 remaining. Because, why not? 131 remaining, I guess, to get 133. Do we have any other quests to turn in right now? I don't think we do. Outside of maybe, nope, not even the zombie kill one. Which is, interesting. But, yeah, that's pretty much all I've been doing since, last session with this pack. Nothing too incredibly, fancy or interesting. Honestly, it was just a lot of wiring up for the fucking machines down there, waiting for them to craft and, whatnot. Alright. So, let's actually get into it. Let's, open this up, see what the hell we need again. We need Surface Comb and Energetic Comb. We should have that in the system. This has been running for about a day or so. Energetic. Don't have enough Energetic Combs. That's not a good thing. Okay, Energetic Combs. Energetic Combs. You come from Excited and Energetic Bees. So let's see. Excited is in middle. It's left. This is middle. Middle, third one. Are you guys not happy? You guys are not happy. Why are you guys not happy? The reason why I don't want to come down here unless I need to is because, well, some of the bees around here hate me. So you're complaining about flowers. I thought your flowers are redstone. Let's see, Beealizer. I made a couple up just to have like ready for me. And apparently that one is the one that does not have any honey in it. One of these has honey in it. By default, because I was a smart person to be able to figure out that I could actually leave those in there. Flowers is redstone. So yeah, no, should like it just fine. Gimme. What's up? Got the bee before I close the damn book, will you? Yeah, why do you not like the flowers? It's like I'm pretty sure redstone counted as the dust. Granted, there are other redstone items, such as torches, that I could throw in there along with like redstone block or something. I don't know. We'll throw one over there, see if they like it or not. What? Fuck it. We'll throw a couple over there. Let's see, middle one I said, third one over. So we got the machines there. So third one over is this one. Is that going to fuck with anything? I apply a redstone torch nearby. Shouldn't. Interesting. Putting a redstone torch directly on top of a block turns off the torch. I can't think I've ever tried to do that.